Hello, everybody. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntext Live. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well because I know you're all doing well because, like my drink keeps telling me, you all are a bunch of bad motherfuckers. Let me pop a top here before we get going and wet my whistle a little bit. It's been a very long day, guys. Just very long. I'm so freaking tired right now. I can barely stand up. So I'm sure everybody has those days. It happens, but it is, as you can see behind me, just a beautiful day outside. And now that we have actually passed by our 30-second window and everybody's been able to skip through those commercials that YouTube never pays me for, let's get started. All right, now that we're up and running and everything's engaged, before I do anything else, guys, I need your help on something. All right, I'm going to post in the chat for the for Sir. If he comes in, okay, this is where he needs to go. Everybody who's been there a while, you know that he's got some health shit going on. This is what I've been told about by several folks. They say it works really, really well to deal with the shit he's dealing with. It doesn't just help the symptoms. It actually does fight it down to the molecular level. So if you guys see him, point him to this. If not, I'll repost it, however you want to do it, and we'll get everything rocking and rolling. So honestly, not a whole lot in the way of comments this week. Main reason, it's Easter weekend, folks. I've had family here for multiple days. I was lucky to get that one very long video out on Saturday before Easter. And as you know, I haven't been able to get more than one other video out since, which really sucks. I want to get one done today. But as I said, today from 4:30 this morning, I've been on the word go. We've all been there. We've all done it. So, like I said, there's very little on this paper. So who knows how long we're going to be actually on tonight. And, maybe I'll be able to show off a little bit more. I'm having a lot of trouble finding the recommendations you guys wanted for the soundboards. And some people, I shit you not, for that one audio of, let me get this right. I had it written down here. It should have been one of the Space Marines or something like that. No, Evangelion, where they said incoming heavy fleet. I shit you not, one site wanted $50 for that. $50 for something I don't know how many times I'm going to use. I could not justify the price. So let me know also if for some reason the audio is not coming in. I'll adjust and we'll get going. Now, as far as Garbage Planet goes, somebody brought in a very interesting comment. They said there's apparently a Galactic Council versus Earth kind of trope, I guess, going on, or perhaps a particular series. You guys know I'm not afraid of doing those. I've done them several times. This one that we're on, Garbage Planet, just happens to put a lot more details in. That's all. It's just, I could run through these really, really quick, but you wouldn't be able to laugh at all the crazy shit that I keep saying. So, I will say this: the person who put in the comment section about they're probably just probing your defenses, you weren't lying. You were absolutely right. You were dead nuts on the ball. And when I saw that, I just went, hold on. Oh shit! Crap! It's not working. My soundboard just took a shit. Sorry, guys. Hopefully it kicks in here in a little bit, but then the sound effect will actually. Why did it just pause? Technology, guys, technology. But yeah, and you guys, there it goes. Okay. And you guys know about how the main character feels about probing. So I will let you know that the sound effects I put in, they did take a long time just to try and get everything right. Hopefully they did add to the story. I did have one person last week say that the general quarters that I use, I could actually hit it right now if I wanted to, but he said it was giving him issues. Okay. I don't want to give anybody issues. So for that one, that person in particular, yeah, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. If that means you're going to be listening more to the old stuff than the newer stuff, it is what it is. I won't be using that one all that much, but I will be using it. Why? Because it fucking fits. That's why. And I'm going to use whatever fits. Just like I got several more. I got the, as we know, the ambush predator firing off at night. And then, of course, we got a couple of bursts here. And then, of course, the good old 25 Mike, which unfortunately I was a little too close to, which is why half the hearing in this ear is gone. And yeah, that one, I've actually been around that thing. The guy was emptying like 30 round bursts, and I'm 3 feet from the freaking hull of the damn thing. Anyway, hopefully they all work out. If you guys got any other particular sound effects you guys want, let me know. I'll put them down and I will search for them. When I have a chance, I search for everything. You guys wanted something, and I had them written down here. The Ultramarine saying, "What is your duty?" Again, somebody wanted over $20 for that one soundbite, and unfortunately, I've already been burned once. I've had somebody charge me for it, and then the sound, it didn't download at all. It claimed there was a download, and then I looked at it. It downloaded 0.001 bytes. It was just crazy low. So, yeah. Anyways, let's see. Just so you know, I did specifically go into that chapter and put those sound effects in specifically because that was a long ass chapter. That took me about 3 days to write. That was difficult because I needed to get to a certain point. Now, I will say this. I don't know if you guys figured out the song that was actually quoted in the end of that chapter. If you know, throw it in the chat box and we're going to actually go over it. It's I'll give you a hint. It's a old country song from way back in the day. So, on the most recent chapter, I hope I didn't kill you guys with the jokes and everything. Yes, the jokes kind of write themselves when you talk about penetration and internal explosions and breaking a ship's back and things like that, and chewing them up in the face and shooting them in the stern. And, it's just, come on, guys. It's just too easy. However, doing the whole, going in dry. Yeah, I had to do that. I had to do that joke. I just had to. It was right there. And you should actually see my note. They're buried somewhere in this folder. But yeah, it's no joke. I got like 3 or 4 times I scratched it out. I'm like, I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't do it. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do this. So it is what it is. But if I get too much, you guys got to let me know. If I miss an obvious joke, you guys got to let me know. Something I'm not talking about is somebody put in a certain thing in the comment section. He's been putting it in every single time a new episode comes out. And yes, I'm going to use it. I'm not going to say what it is, though. You're just going to have to wait. But yes, the whole backblast thing, if you guys didn't know, for those of you who haven't been in the service, backblast is actually a true military term. It's actually from things like from any type of shoulder-fired rocket or missile. There's going to be, from the chemical propellant, is going to launch out the back, which is why you turn and say, backblast area all clear. So you hear that, you start looking around, like making sure you're not there. Because if you are, you're going to go flying. There's a couple videos of certain militaries using RPGs and some idiot standing right behind it. And next thing you know, his buddy is 10 feet backwards, probably missing parts. So it is what it is. Now, I have noticed there is someone who's been watching some of the older stuff, in particular, the new crew mate. And I'm sorry, yes, it was basically Death by Snoo Snoo on there. Hopefully, I didn't kill it with too many jokes and trying to bounce around the subject at all. But yes, by all means, if you know anybody in the comments who's like, oh, I like this one, feel free to recommend them to any of the older stuff. I've got over 400 videos out there. I've been doing this for a couple of years now. I've got something they're going to enjoy. Who knows? Maybe they're going to like a Call from the Stars, A Call to Arms, my very first series. The only thing is now, I actually write everything down and I'm basically reading it. If I do it the old format of the, shall we say, outline format, I pause a lot. And you guys called me out. You said you didn't like it, so I don't do that anymore. The only way to cut all the pauses out is to go through it and just chop it every bit that I pause. And it's just kind of the way I talk. I hate that it happens. I'm not as verbal as I would like to be, but it is what it is. Boy, I've been saying that way too much. Okay. Honestly, that's the end of my notes. Everything else has been the game. And by the way, the next winner coming up, do I see her in the comments? Yes, I do, Miss. You had to send me something that would give War Sniper a boner. Erica, you crazy minx, you came in first, but only by about 4 seconds. And yeah. Yeah, I know you're smiling, War Sniper. You probably just went, really? All right. On to the, I know that was really quick as far as going through the comment section. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry. Timing has just been bad. And it's also getting close to planting season around here. Plus, we got new chickens coming, which means I got to build a new pen. It's going to be just busy. I cannot promise anything out every single day. I cannot do that. I do not make promises I don't keep. Boy or girl, I don't give a shit. And by the way, I kind of wish I had that button, but unfortunately, they don't have that. Don't make a girl promise if you know you can't keep it. So, anyways, I wanted to bring up, and if you guys haven't heard, Snow Yellow has completely destroyed any forward live remakes from the House Mouse, whatever fuck you want to call it. Thank you, God, because those live action remakes actually broke the laws of physics, and you guys know that's because they suck and blow at the same damn time. They are so bad, it physically hurts me. I'm sorry, Will Smith as the genie? No, that was a epic fail. That was a shoot the tail off the bomber along with one wing and watch that sucker spin and twirl in before it explodes. That was just bad. You had what was it? Everybody knows about the Little Mermaid. Girl couldn't act, and I don't think any of them could act in there. All I know is my nieces didn't even want to watch it, and they were big Disney fans. And now they got this whole thing with the girl power rah rah, and oh dear fucking God, I don't know if you guys seen, but they started pulling it out of theaters. It's so bad. They have 0 people going to watch it for days at a time, and that costs the theater money. They also have to pay to basically rent this movie to show it. So they're like, fuck all this noise. We're just going to say, peace out, bye-bye, screw you, I'm out. And they're just finding a bunch of offs to fuck because it's better than watching that friggin' garbage. And speaking of girl power rah-rah killing everything, if you haven't figured out, The Last of Us Season 2, which is based off the Worst of Us video game Part 2, yes, they killed off the main character. Why? Because they said I guess he has, his dick is too big or something. And I'm just like, I don't care how sympathetic you try to make this character, just no. And it's a shame because the actual actress who plays this horrible, horrible character, I used to watch on Last Man Standing. I thought she did a really good job over there. But I'm sorry, if you're standing 5'3", you're not intimidating. You're not a brawny bitch. You're just someone that I'm going to laugh at, hold out my head, hold you by the top of your head while you're sitting there swinging at me. That's what's going to happen. I've done combatives with plenty of people who just physically couldn't do it. And she did not show any skill. She did not show any natural abilities. Again, nothing against the actress. She just had a shit character to work with. And there's only so much these actors can do. It's only so much. And God help us. They try. A lot of them, they do try, but they just can't. There are so few actors that can save a really dumb movie. Kurt Russell is the number one on that list. Okay. Guess who number two was? Robin Williams, because Robin Williams was a truly gifted actor. Truly. If you haven't seen, I think it was called Family Photo back in the day, where he was a psycho motherfucker, you should watch it. You're just going to be astounded. Some guy you think is going to bust out in some weird, I don't know, talking about the, I don't know, Goofy screwing Miss Piggy or something, just something crazy. But no, he's just really, really good. Anyway, if you don't believe he can make a good, or Kurt Russell can make a good movie really or worth watching, watch the movie Soldier and Big Trouble in Little China, and of course, Escape from New York and LA. Those are two different movies. And you're just going to enjoy them. He can make these movies, and I don't know what it is about him. He can do it. I think number 3 is Cuba Gooding Jr., but he hasn't been in anything in a long time. I don't even know if that guy's still alive. But regardless, they had a severe drop-off. People that were watching season 2 of The Last of Us. And apparently it started off really good, and now it just, again, spiraled into the ground and just kept digging into that hole before it caught fire and exploded, and it's still burning. They had such low ratings after that because people did not want to watch it anymore. Now, don't get me wrong, this Pedro, whatever the fuck his name is, I'm tired of seeing him and everything. I don't think he's that good of an actor. I think he did really good in Game of Thrones. And then everything else I see him in, I'm like, well, okay, whatever. But that's my opinion. That's just the syntax talking. Now, I don't know. Maybe they can salvage it. One can hope. I mean, there's no salvaging Doctor Who at this point. They have fucked that franchise in so many different ways and just gone in dry and just tore it apart from the inside and upside down. It's terrible. Oh my God. I don't know how they have any viewers at all. I heard they actually canceled the rest of the season. That show's been going on for how many decades now? Just wow. Just wow. How to destroy a season or an entire series in 2 episodes. Here you go. However, I do have to say this. I was actually at the movies today. I took my dad to go see The Amateur, which, by the way, is a pretty good movie. It's not very fast-paced, so be ready to sit down. And I'm glad I didn't sit there and get a... No, it was actually good. But they showed the preview for the Fantastic Four, or I should say the not fantastic at all 4. It looks terrible. And I don't know if you guys actually seen this, but there is a female Silver Surfer. Are you telling me that the female Silver Surfer is going to now look at Sue Storm, the Incredible Woman, and have the same reaction as the original Silver Surfer, who remembered because of his old life because she is a dead ringer for his wife? Is that what the female Silver Surfer is? You're a dead ringer for my wife. What? And then we hear they're going to bring identity politics in it, guys. I will personally wait for the reviews before I even consider it. And again, they got the same guy who's, I'm sitting there going, the guy just looks like he's exhausted all the time. The Invisible Woman looks almost nothing like the Invisible Woman. The Human Torch is supposed to be a playboy, and I'm looking at him, and I think he's going to start doing like ballet dancing on stage or something. Apparently, the Thing is, now. I'm like, come on, guys, stick to the source material. Please, for the love of all that is reality. Stick to the fucking source material. What's next? They're going to make Spawn some, I don't know, some Chinese girl or something like that? What the fuck is going on with these people? I don't know. Ugh. Ugh. I will say this, next week, I'm actually slotted to go see Warfare. Apparently, even the critical drinker thought Warfare was good. The movie, not actual Warfare. Been there, done that. Got the T-shirt. Did not enjoy it much. There were some moments, but regardless of that, I don't want to see anything else about it. I just want to see how close it is to the actual shit. That's the only reason I'm going. I'm not actually going to enjoy it as a movie. I'm going to enjoy it as something else. But we'll see how it goes. And tell me what the hell is going on with those Minecraft movies? What the hell? Something about some, I don't know, some square-faced Frankenstein humping a duck and everybody starts screaming. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. And then when I tell people like, oh, it's Frankenstein humping a duck, they get mad at me. And then somebody gets between us and I hear something like, relax. I'd rather not piss this thing off. And I'm like, what is wrong with folks? Oh, what the fuck? So anyways, guys, that actually ends my notes. No joke. That was all I had for notes for this week. Just because I didn't have too much. Most of the pop culture stuff is actually pulling back right now. It's slowing down because they're hemorrhaging. They've been hemorrhaging money for a decade now. It's crazy. Ever since the MCU phase, whatever the fuck, with Thanos ended, they can't catch a break. Everything they make is a pile of dog shit. Excuse me. They keep trying to bring in characters that should have been in the original Avengers, but they were off somewhere else the entire time. My head hurts. Look, you can't do that. It doesn't work that way. Just like they tried to bring in the Immortals or the Impossibles or the whatever the fucking they were in a coma for the entire thing. They were in their version of the Odin sleep. All I can say is congratulations, you played yourself. It's just that bad. It's ugh. And pretty soon I'm gonna try for next week. I'm gonna try with the video to jump up here, and I'm gonna see if that works. If it does, I'm gonna get some more video cuts. However, I don't know if he's in yet. Somebody I was talking about. There's a video editor we know. Basically just by his first name, Blake, and he has some really good stuff I've been trying to get my hands on, and I got nothing. But he's really busy, and he wants to spend more time with his kid. I got no problems with that. So anyways, just checking my soundboard here, making sure there's nothing I can use. Nope, not really. But I will say this. Next time I describe a certain android by the name of Aya, I know what you guys are going to think. Shwing. Yep, you're going to be thinking that because guess what? You got to remember, they're going up to the space dock where her brand new ship is being made and her body has been fucked up. Kind of literally. She's actually missing parts. So what's she going to do? She's going to repair and she's going to upgrade. So keep that in mind when certain people sit there and think, yes, War Sniper. No, she pretty much gets it. You got to remember that with the technology of this universe of Garbage Planet, everybody is at their peak physicality. Think how, as guys, think how many times you could have, done the snoo with your girlfriend at the age of, say, anywhere from 14 to 24. Yeah, that's why she was doing those innuendos and kind of hinting at, calming him down by screwing him. That was the whole point of all that. I don't want to actually. Oh, it's really low in the sound box. Okay, I'll turn this up. How about this? Let me know if that's better. I just don't want to actually shake the windows here. The only one that's really low is this one. That's the 25 mic Cannon. But again, you don't want to be close to those things when they're going off. It's just better. Okay, it says much better. Okay, let me scroll up here so I can get into the chats here. And it looks like everybody is hanging out for right now. Just make sure you guys, hit those likes. I appreciate it. By the way, every time you guys comment, I do appreciate it. It helps the channel, even if you say good, bad, or whatever you're gonna say. It's anything's helping. So, I had Christmas ham for dinner, guys. I am so thirsty; it's driving me nuts. So. Why did I just grab that? I don't know why I just grabbed that. Okay. And no, I didn't mean something wrong. I grabbed my notes again. All right. Yep, there's Guardian Sage with greeting mortals and other assorted beings. Alan's going to be around as long as he can make the group smile. Let's see. Morning better at 0 dark 30. Ugh. Been there, done that. The main character with the syndrome. Hey y'all, food for thought. Garbage Planet with the words sci-fi and HFY seems like it could be a good way to overcome the algorithm, maybe. The thing with the whole sci-fi, yes and no, because people, thanks to the sci-fi channel, spell it different. The actual spelling is exactly how you put it. SCIFI. Now it's Sci-fi with the Y. I'm like, huh? But yes, I've been using that, and that does help views because everybody searches. Once they start getting into these, they start understanding what HFY stands for. Just like you guys suggested, space elves or space orcs or space dwarves, that seems to actually help a little bit. I do appreciate that. Thank you. Let's see. Erica says, probing should only be done by loved ones and medical professionals. Yeah, well, unless it's the actual probe that went into my shoulder to fix it up, you can keep your probes away from me. War Sniper patting Erica's head. How you doing? Oh, no, wait, she's foxes. So, yeah, she wouldn't. No, actually, if you've ever heard a fox yip, it's not exactly pleasant. At least not the human ears. Okay. Demon says, 100% going to email you, but had a lot happen and didn't get to it. Hey, it even puts here, with Easter, taking dad to the dentist and had a death in the family. And had to deal with the HVAC guy coming to look at the furnace. Dude, you have a complete and 100,000% pass on all that. Okay? It's just, yeah. That one, you guys know which one I'm talking about, and that's the one you always get a pass. Erica says, I need a message. You sure it's not massage? Change that E to A.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Let me scroll down here, and we have our first super chat of the day. And it is from someone who's so outrageous. I was just reading her comment, and now it's here with a $5 super chat from Erica Jim. Let me write this down so I can actually get your shout out. FYI, there's nothing dropping tonight. Like I said, I've just been too damn busy today. I apologize for that, but I will get them out as soon as possible. She says, thank you for everything. Try Space Orc too. I do throw that in. I spell it both correctly and incorrectly with either a C or a K. And that does seem to help a little bit. And yep, I will be doing that. I appreciate the input, by the way. And thank you again for sending to the channel. I appreciate it very much. Like I keep saying, I'm never going to ask, but I ain't turning it down either. Let's see. Chris says, I love the jokes. I remember you thought the going in dry part was hilarious. Again, I didn't think I should do it. And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Throw this in. So let's see. Demon says, just didn't have time. Hopefully this weekend I can actually get it done. No rush. You obviously have bigger concerns. War Sniper stars messaging Erica and floofing and messaging. Guys, messaging is ME, massaging is MA. This is what, with Prozac and pancakes, this is what one of the things that drove me nuts. He always got the spelling right. His punctuation was non-existent. You guys, you keep you're not misspelling per se, but yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not messaging Erica's tails. All 7 and 9 of them, depending on which Kitsune you're talking about. Alan's saying, hey, War Sniper, you sure you wouldn't like to scratch behind the ears also? Scratch behind something else. Erica's saying, backblast can be stinky as well. Yeah, depends on which backblast you're talking about.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
We got another super chat from the MTF Guard, someone who is so vast, he covers the entire planet, as the protector of said planet. And let me get this down. It says, sorry for having a movie night with a friend. Sorry, I'm having a movie night with friends, so I won't be available for the stream. Have fun, y'all. We're watching District 9. Actually, I enjoyed that movie. I could do without the political commentary, but the fact of the matter is, somebody who's on the verge of bringing out new technology like that, like I'm trying to remember who it was. I think it was either Raytheon or Northrop Grumman or one of those. Apparently, they have their own internal freaking security teams who go out and just take whatever might fall from the sky. And they'll show up. If you don't want them on the property, they'll just shoot you. And, oh, it was an accident. They must have been depressed. And now, what? I see a $20 super chat from it's not a super chat. It's a super sticker. And apparently, SS Demon is so far OP that he even recognizes it. And OP Hippo, OF. Oh man, I just realized that OPH, OP Hippo, overpowered hippo is an oaf. Oi, Chihuahua. Okay. I guess that falls into us older guys. We would know what that is. Thank you so much, Demon. I appreciate it. You too, Guard and Erica. I appreciate everybody here. Even if you don't super chat, I appreciate it. By the way, just remember those streams where I take a shot per chat only happen if somebody sends something. Now, I neglected to actually put the address down in the Meat Gazer box down there for this stream, but you go into any of the recent videos, you go in the description, and it's right there. Okay? I could actually, if you get, well, I don't think the chat will allow me to actually put an address in. So just go into the descriptions, and I will not this video, but the other ones, and it'll be there. But just please, no tequila and no scotch. Tequila, I will shut the stream down early because after about 3 or 4 shots, I'm going to either want to pass out or puke. Scotch will leave me friggin' ready to vomit for 2 days. I don't know what it is about those guys. They just don't work. Regular whiskey is fine. Vodka's fine. Hell, you want to send me vermouth, and I'll sit here and make a martini, for crying out loud. But that's the only time that those type of streams are going to happen. I just, after last time, and I grabbed the wrong type of drink myself, and I found out why even my dad won't touch scotch. Anyway, I am going to squirm back up here to where I was, if I can find out where in the hell I was before I drop everything all over the place. Oh. Excuse me, I'm not even sure where the hell I was here. I'm trying to find where I was here. Okay, there's the whole message massage thing you guys were talking about. Whatever. War Sniper here. To the people here, I'm not simping for Erica. I'm just having fun. Yes, you guys are. You guys have a lot of jokes. You guys got the jokes. You're better at the jokes than I am, at least off the top of my head. You know, it's better off if I write them down first. I can't do one of those snap back and forth at folks, different comments, because I'll end up hurting someone's feelings because I tend to go very, very deep, very, very quickly. I go for the throat, man. And usually when somebody goes and tries to joke like that with me, but they get a little too messed up, I give them a look right before I say anything, and then
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yep, exactly. So it's either I'm going to make them really sad for the rest of the week, or I'm probably going to pop somebody in the jaw. And I'm a little too old to go and start swinging around like that. Anyway, Erica says, War Sniper, you know how to spoil a woman? Yes, he knows what the ladies like. Let's see. War Sniper says, more like I know what women's worth, or I know that a woman is worth to be spoiled. Okay. You misspelled that. It's a little hard to read there. Anyways, Alan says, you get a spaceship, the two of you. Oh, you get into the spaceship, the two of you. Yep. Kind of like a certain pair that I keep writing about. And yeah, you'll find out how they christen the ship. Anyways, so I haven't seen anything here there was actually two different old country songs I referenced in the tail end of chapter, I believe it was 10. So we'll see if you guys get it. No one's got it yet. Erica says, if a man simps for me, it doesn't end good. No, women will hang out with a simp if he's going to pay the bills, and that's about it. Now, being the reliable guy is different. As long as you hold your frame, you're not a simp. A lot of people put trying to be a good man with simp, and those are two very, very different things. They never have been the same thing. They never will be the same thing. To be a simp is to give up on yourself and to sacrifice yourself for absolutely no reason, for no gain. To be a good man, you might sacrifice yourself, but that is for the betterment of others if need be, or to sacrifice one thing so you can build up higher. So you guys got me talking like I'm on my other channel. But anyways, War Sniper again. Also, Erica, every evening this week, I'm taking care of, I'm guessing that's me, and my parents, their black female cat and her 4 kittens. Oh boy, good luck with that. A lot of times if I've been around a female cat with kittens, they'll try to scar up my hands just to do it. He continues, what the hell is this going on here? I'm going to scroll back down here. We got a $20 super chat from the Harley riding, Fonz looking, shooting like the Terminator, Brian Kemp. Let me write these down here. Brian Kemp. And he just says, hello, everyone. Well, hello, Brian. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're enjoying this weather. You should be able to go out riding soon. A friend of mine, he's actually got his Harley out front on the trailer. It's got to go in for a little bit of service, but I'm sure he's going to go riding here soon, too. He just enjoys it. And, hey, if it's what you enjoy, don't let me stop you. As long as it doesn't impede on others, I don't give a shit. You go have a fucking blast, man. And, I gotta look at now. I was about to put on when I give you the shout out at the end there, Brian. I was gonna throw up the guys from Easy Rider, and then I remembered the movie, and I'm just like, no, I don't want to insult them like that. The guys from Easy Rider were kind of losers. I don't know if you get that's an old movie from way back in the day. But I'll stick with the Fonzie Terminator, and I'll find something else. And if you can think of something else, by all means, let me know. All right, let me scroll back up here for a second. See, Erica says, "Too bad I'm in the USA." Anyway. See, Demon says, "I haven't touched anything Last of Us since the second game, and I 100% refuse to see clips of the show, and glad I don't watch it. They treat Joel like shit the entire time, then kill him off in the second season. Yes, they did. And I'm sorry, that tiny little girl swinging the golf club, I know what it takes to get through human bone. She would have gave him a really bad concussion, but unless she sharpened the end of that friggin' putter she was using, she's not going through the human skull. She does not have enough mass in her body. It actually made more sense with a big, bulky, guy-looking chick they had there before. The one who, honestly, you could confuse as a guy because even her chesticles were, mine are bigger. But at least she was, brawny, 160, 170 pounds, not a friggin' 105-pound girl. I'm sorry, but no, it doesn't. Does that pass the sniff test? No. Whoa. Oh, whew. No, definitely not. Smells like shit and bad decisions. All right. War Sniper says, I'm not even on live streams of VTubers. Only stream I watch is Sin, this stream here. Okay. Well, I appreciate you here and glad you can actually join us. I know you had some issues before. Let's see. Chris says, by the way, useful life hack. If you're on pain meds, don't drink. Oh, absolutely not. Here's another one. If you know anybody who's on heart medication, never, ever, ever give them cold pills. Those, they don't work together. When they actually start merging inside the body, it creates a whole new chemical. As far as the pain meds and drinking, you're looking at dropping your blood pressure down to extremely dangerous levels. Like, holy fucking shit, how are you still breathing levels? And unfortunately, I've seen guys in the Army do this all the time. They think, oh, look, I had some Percocet. It'll make me feel better. Oh, this beer here. Oh. Next thing you know, they're in the OR getting God knows how many IVs pumped through them. They're going through dialysis, and we're shoving charcoal water down, literally spraying it down their throat, just trying to get anything. And if they won't take that down, we got to shove a tube down their throat, do a freaking gastric lavage, stomach pump it out, and it goes everywhere. And half the time, a bunch of us are standing around just trying to hold this guy down because he's thrashing. If he's not thrashing because he's in pain, he's thrashing because he's having a fucking seizure. I know they say don't hold people down when they're having a seizure, but when they're on a padded gurney, yeah. And if Doc tells you to hold them down, you hold them the fuck down. Okay, Demon says, no, they won't change Spawn's race because he's black. Okay, I know. I was just making a point. They will just make him a woman or a trans woman, possibly a gay man, but less likely. Well, the thing is, I don't think they're going to screw with Spawn at all. Because, seriously, without Spawn yelling Wanda, something's wrong. And I don't know if there's an actual... I really can't see Spawn yelling William the same way. That just doesn't fucking fly. And there was nothing wrong with... Spawn was actually supposed to be in the Invincible cartoon. When all those other Invincibles from other dimensions showed up, he was supposed to be the one that Invincible said, I killed you before, I'll do it again. And no, Spawn actually one-on-one killed one of these variants. And I was waiting for that. And then they switched it out with some whatever. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, you fuckers. That would have been so awesome. And what really gets me is they could have done that, showed Spawn for that, like, not even 10 seconds he was on screen, and then they could have done an offshoot. It's in the same universe, just watching Spawn and have it just as dark as the HBO one. And that, oh man, was that shit dark. That was just, that reached you into your sternum, grabbed your heart, gave it a twist, and kicked you in the balls while they were doing it. It was a really good show. Let's see. Erica says, Chris Dixon, did you do that? If so, drink water and peppermint tea. It helps calm the tummy. Well, yeah. Actually, any type of soda comes natural. Well, not really this one because this is a homemade type of thing. So they don't actually have the chemical in it like Pepsi and Coke that'll make you vomit. So they don't have to add the extra acid that keeps you from puking. That being said, ginger ale is probably your best bet. Let's see. Demon says the Frankenstein riding a duck is a chicken jockey. It's a baby zombie riding a chicken into battle. Question. How high does someone have to be to come up with this? Because even on my best day, drunk off my ass, I couldn't come up with something like that. It just ain't gonna happen. Why is it not gonna happen? Because I haven't lost my goddamn mind. And
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
sorry, I almost missed it there, Joe or Joseph. I'm just let me write you down here. The man whose name is very difficult for me to pronounce, but I'm gonna write it down anyway. He says Spawn is a beast. Yes, he absolutely is. If you haven't read the comics, you have no idea how powerful and how absolutely destructive Spawn is. Now, me personally, I think they took the Spawn comic books way too far, just out there. And I'm just like, what in the ever-loving shit sticks is going on? Because, okay, so he goes to hell, eventually kills the devil. Then he goes to heaven, kills God. He has control of both, is able to come down to earth, not obliterate everybody, show them how to live a life that's actually good, even though some people are just going to be nuts regardless, and they're going to instantly drop, and they know it, so they don't even care anymore. But and then they reset it. They do the same thing that drives me crazy about a lot of these shows where you'll have all this buildup, all this work to actually get so far, and then the beginning of next season, somehow they forgot everything. They literally check it off from the beginning. That's what animes do that makes me stop watching them. That's also what a lot of sci-fi does that makes me stop watching them. Stargate SG-1 is a perfect example of this. Every time they get rid of the big baddie, instantly there's another bigger and nastier baddie that now they're completely unequipped to handle, and they got to do this, that, and the other thing, the same things they did before, but now on a bigger level. And then when they're done with this new one, magically there's another one, and it's just like, it just repeats over and over and over again. It gets boring and stupid. You're like, look, you already know you already have the technology to beat this new asshole. Go out there, punch him in the face, shove a steel-toed boot up his ass, and call it a day. But no, I personally refuse to do that. There was a couple series where I had the ability to do that. In particular, one I mentioned before, the new crew mate. I could start over from zero with that same guy joining another crew. I decided specifically I would not do that. Absolutely, positively, no. I will not do that because that is just, first off, it's cheap. 2, it's lazy. 3, you guys already know I think it's dumb. If you extend yourself, why are you repeating the same thing? The only reason you would repeat things is like when I was a drill sergeant and you're going through the same steps every cycle. That's the only time it should repeat. All right. Where was I? There's zombies riding a chicken. I still don't get it. Chris says, yeah, I slept really good last night, but it's okay. I was still up by the crack of noon. I kind of wish I could. My alarm wakes me up around 4:30 every morning so I can get my fat ass to the gym. That's where I'm going. My God, you can't tell, but I'm a good 30 pounds overweight. And unfortunately, I damaged this arm, so I can't really lift with it yet, but I can get my butt on the treadmill and I can go stretch. and I can do limited movements with the arms. I can't really do any pull-ups yet just because I'll overstress this and then I'm back another week or two waiting. It's a tendon issue, guys. It's not if it was a muscle issue, I would have worried because I've had a tear before and those things don't heal without surgery. This was a tendon pull and it was pulled really bad because my elbow hyperextended, and those just take a long time to heal. Weeks, sometimes a couple of months. But when they do, they heal over just fine. I'm good. I have full range of motion. So, anyways, let's see. Warstrom says, I'm using ibuprofen just pure to fight my headaches. Oh, so you got swelling going on? Because ibuprofen's not a painkiller. It's a anti-inflammatory. So if you got a lot of pressure in your head, yeah, it should work. Alan's, that's the very low. I read this before. Aya is gonna be getting laid. Yes, she will. And here's the fun thing. If you were an android and you had the ability to change any part of your body, and you know your partner loves the playing dirty old man, wouldn't you want to enjoy that as much as possible by putting as many pleasure type sensors in certain places as much as you possibly could? Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Think about it. I mean, come on, guys. We're already behind the curve in that regard anyway. And just because when we get to that point and we're about to be done with things, yeah, we get a dopamine hit. Guess what? When women actually reach the mountaintop, their dopamine hit is 14 times higher than ours. I'm not joking. This has been fucking proven. No pun intended. So, yeah. As much as we enjoy things, we ain't got nothing on you ladies. You fucking win in that department. Demon says, I take a leave for my back and my knees. Okay. If your knees are actually breaking down, then you need to take something more than a painkiller. This is the stuff I take. It's Triflex. You get it, GNC. It works really well for me. Everybody's different. If I was you, I'd be talking to your doc and ask him if extra glucosamine, chondroitin, and a few others were a good idea. It's all in. Well, it's 3 pills a day, and they're basically horse pills. But at least for me, they do work. Yeah. Warstone says, I don't want to make commenting on your videos feel like a job. I have that already with playing games. No, you don't have to comment shit. I appreciate it. I'm not demanding by any stretch. That will never come out, guys. I appreciate you here. I appreciate the comments. I appreciate the chats. I appreciate the super chats and all this other stuff. I'm just amazed that anybody's willing to listen to this old grunt for an hour or two while you guys are off playing your games or doing whatever you're going to do. Hold on. There's something else. I got to scroll down 1 second. And yes, I see a $10 super chat from the Guardian Sage, the one that protects Earth, protector of all mankind. Guardian Sage. Okay. And he says, in SG1, they actually had an episode about the frequency of the frequent new BBEG. It was largely political and pointed out that while we have certain technology, we are still behind the power curve and need the SGC. I'm not debating that they're behind the power curve. I'm just saying when you find something that's an actual one-shot kill for the baddies of the baddies of the baddies, there's not a whole lot. You might be behind the power curve everywhere else, but it's like having like 10 guys against the entire Roman legion, and you pull out a freaking pocket nuke and fire into their lines. You know, it's kind of like ends the battle really quick. But you still can't have enough people to make enough food. You still have to harvest from the woods and everything like that. You don't have the politics or anything. You're falling short in everywhere else, but you fucked them up militarily. That's all I'm really getting at. And
hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
There's something else down here. Oh, sir, there you are. Sir, we've been waiting for you. And he put down a $20 super chat, super sticker. And sir, here's what I'm going to do. I don't know if you remember, we were talking about this last week or the week before. I said I was going to talk to a friend of mine about where you can go to get make your own stuff to help the condition you're talking about. I don't want to put your stuff out online, exactly what's going on. If you want to put that in the chat box, that's on you. But I'm posting it right now, and that's a link directly where you got to go. And yes, they do call it Jedi juice, but these guys have actually been able to fight through the same stuff you're fighting. No joke. It should all be there. I hope this helps. I really do. Because what you're dealing with, I've seen people deal with before, and I don't wish that on nobody. Maybe my worst enemy, but that's about it. Well, that and anybody that went to a certain island that was run by a certain Steen that may or may not have killed himself. Anyways, yeah, thank you again, sir, for the super sticker. I greatly appreciate it. And let me scroll back up here really quick to see where I was. I don't even remember where I was. Let's see. Chris says, anime girls also help. Yeah, I'm sure they do. Like I said, I got to throw some video on here. I actually got things sectioned off. I have an entire row on the soundboard for weapons. Although at the end I have for that one. For at the end if I want to use it. I got another one with a sad trombone and everything, and of course,
congratulations, you played yourself.
Kind of the funny stuff. And the very bottom row, even though it only has a couple, is all for the suggestive stuff, like
swing,
and that. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, I'm going to work on the videos. I might even throw in some. Every time I say but, I might do the whole redonkulous thing, go but, and just have one popped up on the screen. Don't worry, Erica. I'll throw in some just for you. They may have some tails. They may not. Okay. War Sniper says, I have a sudden idea. Humans, hold on. Let me write this down. Ideas. Okay. Humans was saving space elves from space orcs. Okay. Humans saving space elves. And by the way, elves is spelt different from space orcs. And we all know what orcs do to elves. Well, the thing is, I've seen plenty of videos where that goes the other way, by the way. So, yeah, it really depends. It actually depends on what type of orc you're using as well. It really does. Sometimes orcs are only a little bit bigger than goblins. And seriously, goblins are smaller than halflings. Again, it really depends on who puts this all together. Now, if you're talking about the big, like 8-foot tall orcs from like Warhammer or something, then yeah, pretty much. Or sorry, is it Warhammer? I don't remember. I think it's Warhammer. But yeah, your point is made. Okay. Douglas says, hey guys, how is it? Everything going? Oh, don't worry, you're not late. Yeah, my internet's been giving me problems too. It's actually was really bad. The other day, it took me over an hour to fix it. It was absolutely crazy. I'm busy unplugging everything, plugging it back in, going through all my systems and everything. And then magically it started working again for no freaking reason. I still don't know why. It's crazy. Guardian Sage says, a friend of my dad passed away this weekend. He was like a friendly uncle that I only saw once in a while. I understand your loss. All right. It seems like nowadays there's a lot of people that have been leaving us. And so I raise a glass to them, to their memory, and say good luck on your next assignment. Yeah, we even lost the Pope over the weekend. I thought it was actually Easter Sunday, but it actually was Monday. But still, yeesh. And supposedly he's the last Pope, but some people said we're on the last president. So I don't know what the hell is going to happen. Maybe they're going to finally release the time tech, and then time isn't going to matter anymore. Most anything's not going to matter anymore. And most of you are going to lose your freaking minds after about 2 or 3 trips because you're not going to know what the hell's going on. The thing is, you never want to go backwards because you might cause somebody to not be here. It's the same thing when somebody asks, you wake up in 1984 in your old body. What's the first thing you do? You mean when I'm done screaming? That's always my answer because I fully understand time. And I'm sure most of you too. Most of you listening do as well. So let's see. Eric is here and says, my autocorrect is stupid on my phone. District 9 was good at putting a little bit of political situation in war and stuff like that. Yep. I'm looking forward to District 10. It's supposed to be coming out in the next year and a half. If they don't fuck it up, it's going to be really, really good because I'm pretty sure what they're going to do is they're going to have a bunch of their big ships come down, say, we're here to collect our people. They're going to start collecting their people, collecting their arms, collecting everything, and taking them up. And either A, they're going to find what's-his-nuts who had to be transformed, and they're going to try and transform him back, and something's going to go wrong. Or B, they're just going to start getting shot at, and they're going to be like, okay, we see how this is going to work. All turrets extend, open fire, fire at will. It's just going to be really messed up. I would hit general quarters at this point, but boy, that thing is loud. I can't seem to turn it down. Anyways, Wars Number says, I was just tripping Erica over the massaging. Typing. That's fine. Let's see. Guardian says, have you ever listened to the song, What Does the Fox Say? You mean ring ding ding a ding a ding? Yes, I have. A fox actually like laughing and going. It sounds like a really weird yelp. Eric is just straight for the jugular, man. Yeah, that's where all the sensitive parts are. And by the way, if you guys have seen the Rambo part where he puts his fingers in, lifts the guy up, what he did is something I've been taught. I thankfully have never had to use that because honestly, you need to have some really good strength to pull it off, but it can be done. It's also very messy. Don't ask me how I know that. Okay, Alan says, not according to the last garbage planet, going for throat. Yeah, well, they went for the throat and they went for somewhere else. I'm going to leave it at that. Lena said, hello, I noticed Monica in the story. Yes, she's been in there at least a half a dozen times. Well, maybe 3 or 4. I shouldn't say that. Yeah, she was mentioned. She was, or when she first became a ship. She was also mentioned when she deployed. She was also mentioned, let's see, when pre-battle. And she was mentioned, I think, this last time when she came in her digital form. When she gave a certain type of grin. I won't mention what type of grin that might have been, but she gave a grin. And so if you guys don't know what we're talking about, Leonid had actually recommended the name Monica as a name for one of the AI. I didn't know what he was talking about, which AI, so I looked it up. It worked, so I used it. Okay, if you guys have suggestions like that, I'll use them. As long as they fit in the story, I'll use them. Just like I used from Halo Wars, Serena. I won't use anything from Halo Wars 2 because I honestly despise that fucking character. I hate everything about her. Just her look, her personality, everything. Her attitude, it was all bad. It just took away from the actual story. Anyway, Demon says, I've listened to that song way too many times. I've even listened to Buscus parody. I don't know who Buscus is. What does the fax say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember when that shit came out. All right, and there's all our wonderful super chats, which I do, again, appreciate, folks. I very much do, and I got them all written down right here. Okay? Yep, we're still good. Okay, Brian says, 2 days ago, went for a short 105-mile ride. Oh, shit, there you go. Hey, my brother likes to ride. I'm not much of a rider myself. It is what it is. He enjoys it. I don't. And I'm right now suddenly fighting a sneeze. Excuse me. I hate it when they get in there and they just hold still. And you're just like, either come out or don't. Okay. See, Lena says, there was a woman with prismatic eyes in Devil May Cry who thinks she is the main character and swears like a sailor. Yeah. I remember he had the short hair and everything. If you guys don't know what prismatic eyes are, there's 2 different colors. Unless I'm remembering that wrong. But yeah, she just, wow. Seriously, if I remember correctly, that was one where I was watching a guy play a long time ago, and I'm like, who is, geez, this character, does he just like, is there a button to slap this girl across the face and get her to shut up? But anyway, they had her in the cartoon too, which the cartoon was just so bad. Let's see. Demon says, I always thought the ladies liked 66 tons straight up. HE spewing divine intervention. I learned it from, oh yeah. The ladies like 66 tons of straight up HE spewing divine intervention. I learned that from Sergeant Johnson in Halo. Yeah. Yeah, he did know what the ladies like. Let's see. Joseph saying that he still has the first run of Spawn. Really? My family used to get them via mail. Well, damn. Make sure they're wrapped in plastic. And preferably with some sort of board to put on the spine. If it's the very first run before they now, granted, most everything after, say, 1991, 92 didn't actually become a collector's item. They just claimed it would be because a lot of people were turning in these comics, which I did find out that the rumor about a guy finding $3.8 million of vintage comics in his parents' attic, that was true. They have all the pictures, all the videos. He actually got in trouble with the IRS a little bit because he didn't know what the tax law was. When you're dealing with that type of money, you've got to hire a lawyer. But it was true. And some of those comics went, now that there's more than one in there, they went from, I think one was like $30,000 just for one down to like $10,000 because he had, because another one went into circulation that was a better quality. It's you never know what's going to be a collector's item. You never know what's going to be worth a lot of money unless you're into gold, and then yeah. Okay. Oh, Eric's here. Hey, Eric. I try not to take any pain meds as long as I can until it gets unbearable, and then I'll take something. Yes, been there, done that. I personally do not like taking pain meds. I'm the guy that actually showed back up at the pharmacy and told the lady behind the counter, take these. I don't want them. And that was when they reconstructed my shoulder. They gave me some oxycodone. I think it was like 6 pills, 7, something like that. And I tried one, and I'm just like, nope, nope. I literally can't feel anything. I'm gonna damage myself if I don't feel anything. And I was freaking out. Not freaking out like I'm seeing music, but I mean just kind of freaking out because I actually took my free arm, punched into the wall, drew blood, and I'm like, I can't feel that. Okay, this is not good. So I drank a bunch of water, went outside, and I just kept walking around until I started feeling my legs hurt. Let's see. Yep, Alan saying, yep, good to see you, sir. Yep, very much so. Let's see. Lena says, have you heard about the wolf orca hybrid cryptid? No, but I heard of the woolly mouse where they mixed mammoth DNA in with the mice. I can't say I've heard of a wolf orca yet. I mean, that would be, I don't think you can call that a killer whale anymore. Would that be a killer hound or what is? I don't even know what the hell that is. So anyway, Demons here says, time to finish the last of the ham and potatoes from Easter. Yes, I am almost completely done with the last of the vegetables, but we got enough ham for a couple of sandwiches. Don't give guys, hot ham sandwich. If you haven't had one from the actual cut ham, you're missing out. Just throw the ham in the microwave. Don't microwave the bread. Preferably a little bit of mayonnaise, just a little because it's going to ooze as soon as it gets hot. The Miracle Whip stuff's probably the best for that, but any of them will do. With or without cheese is fine, but make sure that ham is steaming just a little bit. When you put it on the bread and on there, and you put that cheese if you want it, and it starts melting down in, and oh my God, is it good? I put it just I don't even touch it with salt. Just a little bit of pepper myself, and just damn it, it's just, I don't know why it's so freaking good. It's just delicious. It's not so good if the ham is cold. It is what it is. Let's see. Lena says, oh yeah, the orcs in Warhammer. Do you know what the sound does? Big shooter makes. Daka, 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 daka. More better. Yes, I've heard about that. And which is why every time I'm on MechWarrior Online, which I haven't been on in probably over a year, I used to say that. They're like, why are you bringing a Jaeger mech? More Daka, more better. Oh, you smart ass. And then I'd be sitting there just up on a ridge line or over somewhere, just peek my head up because the weapons are higher. They're not down low. So I can just literally peek over the top, fire, and back down without exposing myself. And you wouldn't like me if I exposed myself. So anyways, they're also the biggest tracer round, so everybody can see where I'm shooting. I don't even have to hit the push the talk button and tell anybody, hey, movement, Hotel 7 to Golf 8 or whatever it might be. And, it is what it is. But I will say this. When I did a Warhammer-based story with the orcs, a lot of you guys gave me shit because I didn't know Warhammer all that well. I didn't know Warhammer orcs actually reproduced via fungus. When you guys brought that out, I was like, wow, okay. So I screwed up. That being said, I'll freely admit I'm not good at Warhammer, guys. I've tried Warhammer stories and they suck. So I just don't do them. I can't do justice to the preset characters, the preset lore. I just can't do it. And since I can't do it, I won't. Uh-oh, Daka incoming. Yes, War Sniper. Serena was great. She was a smart ass. And that's why I like to, if you guys haven't seen the cutscenes from Halo Wars 1, the very first one, Serena was just this sassy UK to I don't want to say British because that's the wrong thing. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. I think British is the wrong term, but like the UK accent on that, and she just, even if it wasn't a snide remark, she had the best comments in the entire thing, which I think worked out well. I mean, they're AI. They know and she's a smart AI. She knows she's smarter than everybody else, but she's not so much of an asshole to think, oh, I'm going to show everybody I'm stronger, or not stronger, but smarter all the time because they have the ability to press a couple buttons, yank my chip out, and throw it into a star. It's just, but anyway. Wow. Okay. This thing jumped like crazy. Give me a second here. We need new and bigger DACA. Yeah. By the way, guys, if you do send me any names of AI that you want me to use in Garbage Planet, please put a reference to where the AI is from. Just like when I did a big ass AI, I really shouldn't have done that because the images I got, I'm like, I don't need to see this, but one name kept coming up, and I'm just like, fuck it, I'm going to use it. Anyway, Lena says, I know a couple of more robots, AIs, that deserve to be on the Garbage Planet because they were destroyed or became obsolete in the main series. Really? We'll go ahead and send them. Demon says, don't get me started on the new Netflix Devil May Cry anime. It makes me so mad. I know you mentioned it before. That's why I didn't want to spend too much time on it. But you're right. I went back and watched it, and I'm just like, what? Grakata, whatever that is. Sorry, if I mispronounce these guys when you're making me quote these, I'm not sorry. Okay. The red ones go faster. I'm probably the red ones go faster. Okay. Guardian said, "You're making me hungry, man." Well, go get a snack. Just try to stay away from those artificial dyes that they're finally making illegal in this country. They're illegal everywhere else, but they put them in our diet. And what do we got? A whole bunch of Xbox body fat asses walking around. Speaking of which, over the past week, I was just amazed at what I saw in the gym. Because anybody who has never gone to the gym before, never gone to the weight room, would not understand this. When you go into the weight, and tell anybody who's going to the weight room for the first time, going to the gym for the first time, if you walk in there without a plan, or I should say a goal, you're doing it wrong. Have a fucking goal in mind. 2, if you don't know what you're doing, get a trainer and have them walk you through every single exercise so you know how to do it right. I saw a pair of young ladies being led by another young lady as she was going through every single machine, every single free weight, every single exercise one by one to show them how to do it right. I want to jump off the treadmill and just go, yes, finally, they're doing it right. Hallelujah. I mean, of course, one of them made me go, but that's neither here nor there. It's the fact that they were doing it right, because I hate seeing people get hurt in the gym. I really do. It annoys me to absolutely no end, especially when they could have kept themselves from getting hurt by just going through the steps. So, anyway, sorry for the side rant on that. Blue makes you luckier. Green is the best. Is the best. Is that the best? Is that like the beers? The bullsh. The beers. The bears. Okay, you guys, this is hard for me to pronounce, so give me a second. Yellow makes you richer and more darkier. The black was make you tougher. Purple makes you sneaky. I don't even know what I'm reading here. Let's see. This thing jumped again, so let me find where. Okay, here we go. Erica with more DACA, more power. Also, how is the gold story I recommended? The gold story. Did I write that down last time? You know, resend that. I don't think I went through it. I will say this. I don't know if you guys heard on the last one for Garbage Planet, but Element 115, do you know why that was so expensive? Is because the only way to make that is with a like CERN and stuff like that. They're the only ones who can make that super heavy element. So having a full ingot of one of those things is going to be kind of expensive. Demon, you're making, yeah, my tongue's going to break at this point. White makes you deaf killy. You deaf killy. You deaf. I'm trying to pronounce it the way it's spelled. But, yeah, the orcs are funny as hell. Yeah, well, they were meant to be a joke. And Erica here saying blue, the royal color, is her favorite color. So I'm guessing green is your least liked color there, Erica. And I say this for one reason. A lot of people don't know this, but there is actually no such thing as purple. The color we understand that we see as purple is the absence of green. There's no green in purple at all. At all. There will never be any green. That's what purple comes from. So you won't find any purple in green either. So when you see purple and green next to each other, that's why our eyes pick it up just as well as white and black side by side. The contrast there is just right in your fucking face. War Sniper, Sapphire Blue is mine. Hey, well, does that mean you liked Luke Skywalker's laser dildo in the first two movies there? It was blue, right? Then he switched to a green one. Demon says, purple is my fave too. Why not? You both want to be royalty. It's, I'm looking for a button I can push for something funny, but I don't have anything funny on that. But every time I go to read this, all I think is, oh no, I got to do it again. Even mentioning Warhammer, and then
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yep. Let's see. Douglas says, I used to go on bicycle rides like back in before my neck and my back was foobarred. Yeah. Yeah. My neck's been giving me problems for a couple of days now. I just got to crack it. And one of these times I'm going to twist it and I'm just going to hear this crunch and everything will go back to where it's supposed to be. But I haven't been able to hit that angle just right. It is what it is. Let's see. Lena says, yeah, Monica was from the indie video game, and I'm glad you took. Yeah, she fit the part. So I got no problems with that. Just no really annoying characters, guys. You guys want an actual character name used in a series, let me know. I will try my best to put it in. But if I look it up and I find out it's a character that's a total piece of shit, I'm not going to put it in there. Let's see. Demon says, purple is sneaky because you've never seen a purple orc. Love the logic. Yeah, why not? Let's see. Demon says, orcs actually care about hygiene, funny enough. The cleaner the orc, the greener the orc. And everyone, no, green is best. Let's see. Erica, I hate pink. I'm guessing pink was, hold on. A woman who hates pink, I'm guessing pink was basically shoved on you a lot. And that's the only time I hear a woman ever say she hates a certain color, hates a certain music, hates a certain anything, is it's been shoved on you so much that you just got sick of it. But that's just a guess. Anyway, let's see. Demon says, I hate yellow. Well, don't eat that yellow snow. And no wonder you didn't like snow yellow. There you go. War Sniper saying, honestly, I don't care about the lightsabers. Oddly enough, if you since you guys mentioned since we brought up lightsabers, there is one of my old one-off stories. It didn't jump in too much because if you look at it, it has that squid-headed guy from the Clone Wars on it, and it's like a duel of honor or something like that, or a fight with honor. And it didn't come out as good as I would like it, but apparently everybody who listened to it thought it was pretty good. So if you are into that sort of thing with the laser blades bashing against each other, then by all means look that one up. And it's in the HFY stories, where all the one-offs are, and I'm sure you'll find it, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Erica says, I hate 1950s sick yellow. Yeah, why is it everything, all the yellows from the 50s look like vomit? I mean, like bile spewing vomit. I never understood that. It's weird. Bite me. Hey, Bite me. How you doing? Sorry I'm late. Still at work. Hey, no worries. Demon says, hey, an actual lightsaber would be really useful in a zombie apocalypse. Yeah, turn it on or put the hilt in the ground, turn it on, and back away and watch the show. Because the zombies would be attracted to it, and as soon as they got onto it, the thing is so hot, it would either set them on fire or it would immediately slice them into pieces. Done. So let's see. War Sniper, I really would love an episode in one of your stories that literally Erica as a 9-tailed purple kitsune and me, a black dragon with blue highlights, go after each other would be a fun comic. Well, I'll put that on the story ideas. Let's see. Now, are you talking purple in the kimono or purple in the fur? Purple kitsune and black dinosaur. With blue highlights, okay. You just want me to keep going on that story, don't you? The thing is, when you wrote your character, you got him so OP, he could fart and waste an entire continent. So I had to kind of had to nerf him a little bit. More like a lot. Anyway, yeah, that should be a fun comic. And by the way, again, if anybody knows somebody who wants to draw a comic based on these stories, by all means do so. I have zero restrictions outside of one thing. It must be whatever you have that I can get must be YouTube friendly so I can post it on a video. And then I'll just go through all the drawings, all the panels, and I might actually just do an entire thing. Like say, how do I put this? Say somebody did the Garbage Planet and you decide to make panels for, say, the first video. I'll gladly repost it with visuals on it. I'll even go through and cut everything out and put it where it's supposed to be. I got no problems with that. I think that would be great. I would request that they either be very detailed and or colored. I know the coloring and the shading takes a long time. That's why I wouldn't ever demand it. But that being said, if you want to make any type of comment or comics for it, for any of these videos, do so. Send them to me via email. I will start consolidating together. As long as it covers one full episode, I'll go in. I'll redo the whole thing. Yeah, that's a nice one there, Demon. Sure, you would go after each other. Going after each other's tails. Sure. I know which tail you're after. The more tails, the more leverage, right? Anyway, where the hell was I? Okay, for some reason this thing jumped. Give me a second here. For some reason, here we go. Lena says, only if I can make fights with laser swords look cool. Well, that's what everybody liked in the 70s when, Star Horse came out, Everybody's like, oh my God, this great special effects. Now that everyone looks at it, it's like, it's dated. Well, no shit. Everything gets that way. Let's see. Worst never added. Or make it a love story. I don't know. Demons with YouTube, it just crashed. That sucks. Let's see. Erica. Oh, okay. She did respond. So Pink wasn't shoved on me. I just hate it. I also hate baby dolls for 2 reasons. Pushed on me, and they made me cry due to 2 dreams as a toddler. Ooh. Yeah, I actually know somebody. He's not around anymore, but somebody actually had dead birds in his room. Now, I don't know if they thought it was funny or they just had no idea where else to hang their catch or whatever. But until the day he died, he had a phobia of anything with feathers. Wasn't cool. So yeah, I can see where a dream would kind of fuck you up, especially that young. Let's see. Lena says, would you want to include Penny? Hold on. Let me write these down. Penny 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 Polendina in a Garbage Planet. She is a side character from Ruby. Now, I've never watched Ruby. I tried to watch it once, and I sat there and went, okay, my brain cannot have suspension of disbelief that much, because the character immediately pulled out a weapon that was 5 times the size of her, and she's flipping it around like it weighs paper. I'm like, if there's no physics at all, what the hell are we watching? I will see what I can do. You're not going to get the full name. You might get Penny, but that's about it. Warris Never says, well, Erica, it is literally the purple black-haired Kitsune Musashi of Azur Lane. Yeah? Actually, I still have the picture. I can't pull it up right now because I don't have it prepped, but I could. Because she loves purple. You know what that reminds me of? That reminds me of the line from the 1980s Batman cartoon with movie with Michael Keaton, where what's her name there? The blonde starts to hit on the Joker. And purple. I just love purple. Oh man, thank you for reminding me of that. That was just fun. Even as a kid, I was cracking up. And then, excuse me, you ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Wham! So let's see. War Sniper continues. I find it a good connection making Erica a purple Kitsune because she loves purple. Now, again, are we looking at the fur? Or are we looking at the kimono? It's so, yeah. Let's see. Demon says, oh man, that reminds me of a story about my ex. My dad messed with her older sister after watching Chucky when they were kids. She had one of those large dolls, and he put it at the foot of her bed with a big butcher knife in its hands while she was sleeping. And when she woke up, she saw it and all hell broke loose. He slept on the couch for a week. He's lucky he didn't freaking get cracked across the jaw pulling a joke like that. Yeah, you can find it funny now. I cried laughing when he told me that story. Yeah, don't get me wrong. Props to imagination on that. But you got to remember there's limits depending on the age. So, yeah, so if somebody tried to do that I haven't had anybody actually try doing that with me, putting stuff up while I'm asleep, usually because I have my door locked. I don't trust anybody. I've never trusted my roommates. don't trust girlfriends a lot of the times, especially one whacked me with a riding crop while I was asleep. That was not fun. Guys, I literally could not stand up. My leg was completely numb. It just that she hit the nerve ending, and that was all she wrote for I don't know how long. It was just not cool. Here I am hopping around on one leg, like the redheaded guy from the Orville when his leg got chopped off. You took my leg, it's all that shit. Of course, again, she found out really quick that if you play the game with the shit test, even if you win, you lose. So, it is what it is. Okay, Ericus here says, my tails don't wag casually for people. I would hope not. Let's see. Let's see. Alan says, if you a comic version list as illustrated in the title, please. Huh? If me. Oh, okay. If somebody makes the comic, yes, absolutely. I will put that in there. It will actually say in big bold letters, comic version. Okay. If somebody wants to actually, now again, no stick figures. We need actual detail. Just don't make anybody too over the top. Just stick with the descriptions that are on there as close as you can get. If you can do that, I will put on there. I might, with the first whatever might drop, I might give a little couple of tweaks, but that's about it. I'll have to put in the description, comics illustrated by, and Alan, if you're going to do that, I'll put it in there. Let's see. Erica says, I may like purple, but not enough to flirt with a Joker like that. Yeah. Yeah, fun. Anyway, the Joker and Harleen Quinzel actually had one child together. Well, actually not together. He died supposedly, and she had to raise her daughter on her own. Actually, I don't know if it was son or daughter. I think it was, which would make sense unless Harleen changed her name after she stopped being Harley Quinn. Because if you watch the Batman Beyond, they actually mention her grandkids, the Dee twins, who are dead ringers for her. Their last name's actually Dennis. It's like Diala and Diarra Dennis. It's all D's across the board, and which is why they call themselves Dee. But yeah, she actually had a kid from the Joker. They have the Joker DNA, which is probably why they're all cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's see. Lenin says both purple foxes look amazing and purple clothes look good too. Yeah, but they you need a little bit of clash, just a little bit. You can't, like, if I was wearing a skin tone shirt, I'm sure the first thing you guys would look at, I didn't need to see that, dude, go on a diet. You got moves, motherfucker. So anyway, let's see. War Sniper says fur or kimono. What about both? A human purple-haired, purple-eyed woman with purple fox ears and 9 purple foxtails. Now, here's the thing. The skin tone, is it like a more Asian? Are we looking Caucasian? Are we looking more African area? Are we looking, Middle Eastern? Are we looking full Scandinavian where it's pale as all shit? You gotta, again, there's the clash that I'm talking about. That's what really brings it out. And it's going to accent everything. The hair and the ears are going to accent the face, but the face and the hands and the arms are going to throw everything so you can actually see the difference between the fur and the actual dress. And also, I've worked with artists before, and the more details you get, the better off you are. By the way, anybody out there who draws, yes, if you send me one of these, I will put it up there. I got to remember to actually pull the dragon out for War Sniper if he sends a super here. Let's see. War Sniper says, Erica, are you the type for 9 tails or just 1 tail? Is it your character? Okay. It's for me, and you to imagine that. Okay, that was good, Erica. That was just good. A little bit of teasing in there. Let's see. Okay, you go on. Tell Sin what the character is going to look like. Mysterious woman, Erica. Yes, Alan, she is. Let's see. Leonid says, "Isn't Harley Quinn has a child with Poison Ivy named Lucy?" I don't even know what the hell's going on with that shit. First off, they're both chicks. I know Pamela is a absolutely brilliant geneticist, but she works almost exclusively with plants, not animals. Now, to say she couldn't make that happen would be completely wrong. However, it really depends on which comic you're looking at. Yes, do they have a child named Lucy? In one area, they do. And this is why I would absolutely love to get my character that I designed specifically for the DC universe completely made. And maybe one of these days I'll actually throw it on there during one of these months with the actual series, because I wrote a whole bunch of it out. And the premise of the character is he's not from the universe he's in. He's a dimensional jumper, but he doesn't have complete control of it. Something actually drew him into this dimension, or I should say into that DC universe dimension. And you find out later that this guy has pretty much plowed through every super heroine and super villainess out there. And yes, he actually at one point picks up Harleen Quinzel in her Harley Quinn outfit, raises her up and goes, "I'm great. I'm glad to see you. Oh, it's been so long." And then he realizes he's in a different dimension. She has no idea who the fuck he is. There's a constant running joke with that. And he may or may not knock up one of the two, Pamela or Harleen. I really never did decide on which one. But yeah. But mainly because he's a dead ringer. Well, I shouldn't say dead ringer. He's the counterpart to a guard in Arkham that treated them both very, very well. And unfortunately, he got caught up in one of their scams and stuff, actually trying to save them both, and it cost him. Now his counterpart, who jumps dimension, is there. I know it sounds weird when you're working with jumping dimensions. It gets kind of how do I put this? So anyway, let's just say when the character meets up with Harleen and Pamela, yeah, that sort of shit happens. So yeah, moves. I get it. Let's see. Demon says, "Oh man, I have 3 pieces of ham left, but I can't hate to waste food, but I'm so tired of ham, I can't finish what's on my plate, though I could, but it's most definitely." Dude, just put it in the fridge. Save it for tomorrow. Eric says, "Not that much mystery to me. I was born to be a stay-at-home wife, but never found the right person." Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I can't say too much on that. I'm sure if I had actually got married at 17, 18 years old, like my grandfather did, then I would have stayed married the whole time, because that's just the type of guy I am. The problem is, when I was younger, well, when you don't hear for the first 5 years of your life, you're kind of an outcast in school. And once you're the outcast at such a young age and you don't learn to socialize because nobody wants to deal with you, then yeah, you end up working with a vivid imagination. You end up doing live streams like this. So yeah. Yeah, don't take it too hard there, Erica. I mean, life has a way of kicking us in the balls, or in your case, ovaries. Let's see. Demon says, "That's because you live far away from most of us." Lena says, "Anyway, the child name was Lucy Quinzel." Okay, that answered that question. because Quinzel is Harlene's last name. So Harlene was the one who got knocked up, which makes perfect sense because in almost every single iteration, Isley there, Pamela Isley, the one who plays Poison Ivy, or I should say that's her real name, because of her mutation, she cannot have children. She cannot actually conceive. That part of her internals produces something completely different. She actually doesn't cycle like a regular woman does. She actually pollinates, which is kind of weird. They only did that once in the comics, and they're like, "Oh no, that's too far adult. You can't put that." And they actually pulled the comic book on that. The thing is that same pollination is the same way she got all these guys, or that's how she realized that guys would be completely enthralled with her. And then she used that same pollen to blow in people's faces. It makes you wonder where her hands were right before she blew that pollen out. Anyway, Erica said, I thought Lucy was adopted, found abandoned by them. There's multiple ways. Lucy there, daughter of the Joker you're thinking about, she actually found the Joker's removed face in the sewers. And the Lucy there in that area was severely abused. I mean, to the point where her face was all sorts of fucked up. So she actually went to, I'm trying to remember who it was. There was a certain supervillain that actually, the Doll Master, I think his name is, or something like that. And he actually put that face and actually tied all the nerves together. So she actually has the Joker's face on her face. And she actually does have two different color eyes. That's daughter of the Joker. The other Lucy is the daughter of Harleen, and she's together with Poison Ivy. I never actually figured out if Poison Ivy used her degree to do the modifications, or if Harleen just happened to get knocked up or from someone else. I don't know. I really don't know. So, but again, and this is the kind of thing my character would deal with, is he constantly forgets what dimension he's in. And there's only one time he gets really, really serious. And whenever you mention his original wife from his original dimension, which I'm not going to spoil too much here, is Power Girl, then he goes and gets very, very, very drunk. He gets so hammered that even Tony Stark will be like, dude, calm down, man. Wolverine will be like, no, you've had enough. You know, it's just, yeah. War Sniper says, honestly, when I manage to get my shit together, I don't care where the one I like live. I will come to her country, and even she would live in Alaska. Why not? War Sniper also says, I hope with this year to have all my finances and shit together. Yay, that's always good. If you can get debt free, that is a massive, massive deal. Getting debt free is such a huge weight off your shoulders. For a long, long time, I was debt free, and I was the most carefree motherfucker. Of course, I kept getting sent over to different countries to do different shit, mostly train, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see. Demon says, that's always hard to do because life always finds a way to attack your wallet. That's not how you spell wallet, by the way. For a second, I couldn't read it. But yeah, that is true. That's exactly what happened to me. And now, I mean, all around me is debt for me. It's going to probably be another 10 years before I'm debt free, unless I go out and, you know, start working a really hard ass 9 to 5. And then I could pay it off in like 2 or 3 years, but I'd be doing nothing but working, doing probably something that would drain the life out of me. Okay, War Sniper continues with, I'm the type of guy that want to provide for the woman, get the bread on the table, so having a stay-at-home wife would be great, so I could cuddle and snuggle with my wife when I'm done making money. Yes, that is the idea. Unfortunately, for the past 50 plus years, we've had a certain movement. It's basically a daily movement, and it's full of the same material as said movement that has totally screwed everything up. And because that certain movement, there's been as everybody knows, for every action is the equal and opposite reaction. For that movement, there was a reaction which nobody liked, and they're fighting against each other, and everybody in the middle is losing. And it's just, I don't want to go too much into it because you guys know I don't do a lot of politics here. But unfortunately, I'm extremely well versed on this because I've had to deal with it for at least 20 years in the service. Ever since day one, it was bad. It was just bad. Anyway, sir says, I have to go. Good night, everybody. Well, see you later, sir. Let's see. Demon says, I'm not going to lie. I miss bread making money as making mommy. See, Lena says, you are pretty much stuck with using kinetic weapons like railguns for your spaceships unless you have missiles that do rapid fire. Yes and no. I did mention in the last, I believe it was chapter 10, that there are different types of missiles and torpedoes that can be used. You're not limited strictly to railguns. However, in that universe, the ones they're fighting use almost exclusively energy weapons. So if you have some sort of interdiction disruptor shield that's around you, those energy weapons aren't going to be able to hit you with much force, especially if you interlock said shields, which, as you know, happened. At least one group figured that out. So yeah, we're not fully stuck with kinetics. Can use some energy, but it really depends on the tech level of both sides. Erica says, I have a very sassy feminine and high masculine personality to come with. Those are contradictory, right? Most men conflict with the masculine side, nor have they been able to get me to put it down. Okay. And there's a whole bunch of people saying good night, sir. And let's see. Sniper says, if my wife won't go masculine, I will dominate her and make her calm down, get her place, knowing I'm the masculine dominant man and she's the cute submissive wife. Be careful about being too over the top on that. And that's for both sides. You can actually spook the other side, and then legal shit comes in on that one. He continues, I don't tell you, Erica, that I might be the right guy for you, but we have fit well together. But again, I don't force people to love me. Please love me. Yeah, I know. I've seen that one too, and that always friggin' kicks somebody in the ass. Let's see. Demon says, damn, YouTube keeps crashing my PC. I'm just going to stick on my phone. Yeah. Sorry about that, man. I got no control over that at all. War Snipers continues. For me, it happens with Symbolizer. Yeah, I know. If there was a storm, guys, I'd tell you, but we have had perfectly clear skies most of the day. Erica says, I love baking and I'm good at it. Cooking, not so much. You sound like when I had my roommate over in Western upstate New York. The guy was a wizard in the kitchen, but the man couldn't grill to save his dick. I mean, he tried. God help him, he tried. He was on the grill. He was like me in the kitchen. I kept burning myself, and I'd boil stuff too hard and stuff, all this other stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. I can cook. I can make pancakes, eggs, and stuff like that. I know how to make a full-on roast. I just usually don't do it. But you get me in front of a grill, and I will make you some of the best steaks, chicken, pork ribs, whatever the hell you want. And it's what I'm good at. So what we do, we work together on that. And yeah. Demon says, I'm ready for bed already. And I'm literally woke up 5 minutes before the stream. Yeah. I'm not a chef, but I can cook a little. He says, yeah. All right, looks like pretty much everybody's done. I've been watching the numbers actually decline lately. And yes, everybody hates doing dishes, Demon. I hate doing dishes, and I got to do them too. And you're right, Guardian. Anyone can cook. And by the way, that last speech at the end of Ready, whatever the fuck, is a wonderful speech. And I recommend anybody who is worried about the kitchen should actually listen to it because they go over that anyone can cook. And it's just a really good speech. Anyway, guys, again, looks like we are pretty much done here. And yep, safety brief, guys. Remember, if you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to beat their ass. It's better to explain to the cops why your buddy has a busted nose and some loose teeth than it is to explain to their spouse why they're never coming home again. Also, guys, the deer are starting to come out. Okay, I almost swatted 2 of them on the one on the way to and one on the way back from the gym this morning. So be careful out there. They're going to be dropping their fawns soon, and not too long after that, the fawns are going to be following them across the street. So if you see one, there's going to be another behind it. Please watch it. If you see one, there's more. Just slow down. You don't have to worry about black ice. Okay, be careful, and if you get really bad weather, it is what it is. Make sure you guys are ready. If you're not ready for at least 3 days without power, you're doing it wrong. If you don't know how to go without power and you don't know how to deal with that sort of stuff, let me know. I will point you to one of my other channels that I started, but I didn't go very well. It used to be an old prepper channel, and I go through all that stuff. Done is done. So, anyways, one last thing. Remember, if your little soldier's going into the bush, make sure he wears his poncho. It gets wet inside that bush, especially if he wants to play in the mud too. Yes, entendres abound, people. So, before I go, I'm just going to say take care, everybody, and I will see you next time. A special thank you to everybody who donated today. That would be Erica, Guard, Demon, Brian, Joseph, Guardian, and Sir. Thank you again so much for supporting the channel. And I'm sure you guys are going to take off, and you're going to be saying,
Wait me. Will you hear me?
and that's what I'm saying now. And this is your host, Syntex, and I'm just going to have somebody help me out on this.
Ejecting pilot.